specialty? Is it specialty? What exactly happens?
The reason why we were called to the scene first, we are specializing in drugs. Once they say drugs are involved, we are the team that can deal. When they say, when you arrive at the scene, you suspect something, call the necessary people. We are amongst the necessary people. We are the one who can say, yes, indeed, we can confirm these are the suspected drugs. Then we can also confirm we are suspecting it to be this type of a drug. Unlike for Ikgotso to take over, having no knowledge, then he still have to. Now we are becoming too many on the scene. Instead of just shortening it to say, no, let me not take over. Let these people arrive, then I will tell them what to do. Then that is what Ikgotso did.
Would you say that is the general understanding within the SAPS, that's how it should work? It's you hand over a scene to the people that are trained, who specialize in that area.
Who specialize in that area.
All right, thank you.
That is why even when it is a scene of explosives, even myself when I arrive first, I have to evacuate people. Yes. Call the necessary people.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Colonel, just to make sure we understand, at this point, from the evidence that we've heard, there was initially the first two accused, that was Mr. Mashaba and Officer Mahan. They were there as having taken charge of the scene in loose terms. Then it's Officer Pakula who follows next, and he says he then takes over from those two. Here, I just want to understand, because there's the Boyson's police officers, Sergeant Doe, and then you are conversing with Ikgotso, who had spoken to Maluleke. Who exactly at that point was seized with the scene?
Maybe, to put it clear,
Yes.
Mashaba and Mohana arrived first. This is what I got.
Yes.
And this is what this is the information I got from both Ndo and from Jolene Wenzel. What was surprising, I will start with that one. When I got informed by Jolene, he says, these people, they are identifying them as crime intelligent hawks. This was his explanation. Then I said, we don't have such. We cannot have crime intelligent hawks. What did they produce to support what they are telling you? What I was informed, they just flagged something with a police emblem in front of them. This is what I was told. I'm told by Jolene Wenzel. Because if he had names, or the name of Mohana specifically, as he was the one who was flagging that, he would have known. He will say, no, this is Mohana who approached me. But he said this, and this tall one, Mashaba was a bit taller than, he's saying this tall one is keeping everybody at toes. Was Vurvaya. That is what he was saying, because Jolene could also say a bit of Zulu word and Afrikaans, because that is when then I understand, no man, that cannot be the behavior.
Colonel, in fact, on page 267 of that same bundle, that is Jolene's statement in paragraph 3.
Yes, I got it.
Yes, so maybe just read paragraph 3 and then it confirms what you've just said to the commission.
He was with 2 African males who were driving a grey VW Golf, and they have introduced themselves as police officers from crime intelligence. He said this gentleman produced cards, and he asked them if they have the SAPS container stop form, because this is normally the procedure followed when stopping a container.
Maybe you can stop there. I just wanted to confirm that Jolene does confirm what you are just telling us now.
That is correct,
Thank
Commissioner.
Kind of before you run away from me, what I was just trying to establish before we get to all of the things that happen is because there's the sergeants from Boysons and there's now Warrant Officer Rekotso, who was seized with the scene at the time that you are then told to take over. Is it the Boysons police officers or was it Officer Rekotso?
Who did what?
Who had the scene, was the custodian of the scene at the time?
At the time,
Yes.
the person who still has the custodian of the scene is Sergeant Ndo.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So then that then informs your decision to speak to Sergeant Ndo as the,
As he is the person who is in charge.
all right. Then you proceed to talk about your approach to...
Was it ever brought to your attention that Warrant Officer Pagula was in charge of the scene at all?
I was only...
I'm asking this...
No, it was not.
Yeah, I'm asking this because he told us that he was in charge. He took over from... it's very difficult to say from whom exactly between the two, between Chief Mashaba and Mohan.
It was never.
So it was never brought to your attention. Thank you very much. Thanks, Ms. Paul.
And then similarly, was it brought to your attention that the other Malulek was a custodian? The DPCI Malulek?
Commissioners, then this Malulek, I realized later that he was among the group of the onlookers. He was there, but I did not identify him when I was there at the scene, because since I said there were many people, but I realized it only came to my attention that he was amongst those group of onlookers.
All right. Then we can move to paragraph 9.
I then approached Sergeant Ndo, and he confirmed to me that the person driving a black Nissan buggy loaded with black sports bag was leaving, and he then blocked him with the marked police buggy. And I approached the driver of that black Nissan who was seated in the buggy and identified himself and to me as Warrant Officer Morana.
When you say he was leaving, just be clear, do you mean the buggy was driving away?
The buggy was driving out of that scene.
So in other words, it was leaving the place
It
where
was
it was
leaving the
parked.
place.
Yes.
That is the reason why
He blocked.
he blocked. Then he called. I understand that is when he called the Khozo and others.
So is it your understanding that if the police van had not blocked the black buggy would have left the campus where the scene was?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Did you say he was, when you got there, Warrant Officer Mokhane was sitting in the buggy already?
That is correct.
On the driver's side.
On the driver's side.
Did you find out whether he was sitting there because he was preparing to drive out before he was blocked, or he had been instructed by one of the police officers who arrived on the scene to get into the bakkie and sit there. Did you find that out?
That he did not bring it to my attention.
Okay, so you
because
don't
I
know.
also had a chat with him.
Yes.
I asked him.
So you don't know how he ended up in the driver's seat at that
Commissioner,
time, other than what Ndo told you?
Commissioner, to clarify, I asked him, I understand you have loaded these bags and they come from this container. What are you doing? He said, no, I was taking them to my station. Then I said, why? At that time, when I was still talking to him, he pulled out a cell phone. Then he wanted to call. I could notice that in that call, he was phoning Brigadier Loela. Loela worked with me at Jamestown, but he was the provincial commander of serious corruption investigation unit. He was a brigadier. Then I said, call him. When he was calling, that is when the same brigadier was trying to call, and General Kadwa and Colonel Ludik then arrived.
I want you to clarify because Commissioner Balo is asking you an important question. Sergeant Ndo is one of the people who were in the marked police van.
Correct, Commissioner.
So they were the first police proper to arrive at the scene. There were no other police other than Mokhane and Mashaba. So Commissioner Baloi's question is, are you sure that the reason why Mokhane was not in his vehicle was because other policemen had instructed him to sit in his vehicle? But my understanding of your statement is that there were no other policemen at the time because Ndo and his colleague were the first policemen to arrive at the scene, and they are the ones who blocked Mokhane's vehicle from leaving.
That is correct, Commissioner. They are the ones who blocked. There were no other police that I was told that they gave such instruction to either to stop or to drive out.
Just complete that picture. What would have happened to the scene itself? You have experience in investigating drug issues. If Mokhane had left with his bakkie loaded with what we now know to have been this consignment of drugs, if he had left that campus where the logistics company is, what would have happened to the scene itself and the investigation of how the drugs got there?
Commissioner, we will remain with nothing to investigate. Because if that bakkie was, when we arrived, was not at the scene.
The drugs were not there also.
And the drugs were not there. The only thing that we were going to find inside that container, it was the cap, the Scania caps. So there was nothing illegal to investigate for us.
And then tell me, is it not a criminal offense to impersonate crime intelligence officers? So when Mokhane and Mashaba arrive at this campus and they identify themselves as members of crime intelligence, is that not an offense? I'm not sure what the position is. That's why I'm asking.
It is, Commissioner. It is. It is a criminal offense to impersonate somebody.
Even if you are a police officer yourself or you are a traffic officer?
Because, why am I saying this? I know that which because I must state who I am, so that it can be clear going forward what type of crimes, because I am investigating. If I'm not investigating, I cannot come here and say I'm investigating. My work is this and that. If maybe I'm a handyman in the police, I cannot come and say I'm a warrant officer. I'm a handyman. My responsibility is to deal or fix with vehicles, lights, or this and that.
Thank you, Advocate Boyd.
Sorry, as you sit there, Colonel, are you in a position to identify the exact provisions that say if you are a police officer, you cannot identify yourself as belonging to a specific section of SAPS to which you actually do not belong.
Even though I don't have provision, but
Yes.
I cannot substantiate with any document. But my understanding is that as police officers, you have to identify yourself as who you are.
Yes, I'm not suggesting that it's otherwise. I just wanted to.
No, thanks. I understand.
Thank you, thank you.
Can I just ask, you say you were told that he introduced himself as, they introduced themselves as
Yes,
crime intelligence from the Hawks.
from the Hawks.
We know there's nothing like that,
There's nothing like that.
as you tell us. But the function that Warrant Officer Makhane, which is CIMEC, he's in CIMEC at that police station, is that does a person in that position get referred to as a crime intelligence officer?
No.
Is he correct to refer to himself that way?
No,
So he's not a crime intelligence officer?
no, he is not.
Okay.
He told us that his section, the stats section that Commissioner Baloyi just referred to, falls under crime intelligence. Do you know anything about that?
I remember calling his station commander, seeking clarity, because when you get this information about the member, you have to do calls. Colonel, I can't remember who's that.
It's Chauke.
Chauke.
Go to 196 of that bundle. He does deal with that.
I have got this member at the scene. Do you know him? Yes, I know him. This is what he is. He's relating to me. Are you aware that he is at this type of a place? No, I'm not aware. That was his response to me. Because it was me who made a call to him after even getting the number from him. Then, what work is he doing at the station? He explained. Can you, what I said, because I am suspecting something here, can you, in the meantime, prepare for me his PEP file? That will clarify his job description for me so that I will be able to use it at a later stage. Then he said, yes, I will as well send one of the people from my section that will come and obtain your statement in relation to the activities of this member. Are you free? He said yes.
Yeah. If you could just answer it directly, do you know or do you not know whether it's what is CIMEC? What is it? Yes, whether it falls under crime intelligence.
It does not fall under crime
It
intelligence.
does not. Thank you very much. That's all I wanted.
Colonel, before we leave that paragraph, what I wanted to take you to is the statements of the two officers. So maybe we can start with the statement of Ndo, which is at page, if you can go to page 306.
Yes, I got the statement.
Yes, and if you then go to paragraph 4, he deals with his arrival at Scania. Can you see that at paragraph 4?
Yes.
Can we just go through paragraphs 4 and 5? Can you read that?
On our arrival at Scania IRA-10, at the gate, we were met by a security officer at the gate and was escorted to the reception area where we found a black Nissan buggy with registration number with this next
Yeah.
to the buggy, and we look, next to the buggy was a yellow truck with registration number H.
No need to reach the
Okay.
registration. And then paragraph 5.
Whilst I got out of the vehicle, I was approached by Warrant Officer Mohana by showing his appointment card, and who introduced a traffic officer named Mashaba, and followed me that they were told me that they were following information in regard to drugs from Ireton to Scania Ireton since yesterday, and informed us, myself and Makumbula, that they are
Going to,
they are going to arrest the drug driver for possession of drugs
because they,
they informed the bags they
loaded,
no, is it loaded?
the bags
But
loaded,
it seems they intend,
loaded at the back of
they
the
loaded
buggy
the
contained
bags,
drugs. Can you see
the
that?
bags loaded at the back of the Scania drugs, and that they are going to book the bags
At Subs Alberton.
at Subs Alberton. Then the suspect, the drug driver, he informed them that the bags, as well as the suspect,
Suspect should be booked.
that
Yes, that the suspect should be booked.
should be booked and detained at SAPS Boysen
Should be
because
booked and detained at Subs Poisons because the drugs were recovered at Subs Poisons area.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's fine. What I want you to perhaps comment on is he goes on in that paragraph to talk about their argument between themselves and officers Mahano and Mashaba regarding where the exhibits and the suspects should go. But if you see his account of when he arrives and what happens, he doesn't include there the crucial information related to their attempt to leave. And it's an important thing because that's the basis upon which everybody else is radioed out because they are police trying to leave with exhibits.
That point is not highlighted in here.
Yes. And I don't mean for us to go to that statement as well, but if you look at the statement of Makumbila, who's the partner to Ndo, right, which is at page 140, we don't need to go there. He also doesn't mention that there was an attempt by Mahano and Mashaba to leave, and that's why they had to block them. You can take my word for it, but we can also go there if you are unsure. And then the other thing I want to show you is if we go to page 123,